What truly defines a hero? Is it their courage, their selflessness, their compassion for others, or is it their determination? There are many characteristics that can determine what is the definition of a hero. The quality of a hero can be mapped out, each with their own goals and key attributes. In truth, a hero can exist in many different combinations of ways. Their strengths can be what saves others, their knowledge can guide others, their vision for a better tomorrow can give hope and inspire the next generation to come. However, the most unfortunate heroes are the ones who saved others, but no one knew the sacrifice. Now that the serious part of me is out of the way, I must let you know that this is the second part of the game that I most remember playing Crisis Core. Now, I'll explain why in a moment once we get into it, but I wanted to mention thank you for the support on the first video. It was a video I've been wanting to make since the remake was released. And speaking of the remake, for those wondering why not cover the remake, it has better graphics and is made for today's systems. Well, to that, I say no. Yeah, just no. Oh, you wanted a reason? Fine, okay. I wanted the game to be reviewed on how I first experienced it. So, it would have a huge disservice to the younger me and to the others introduced to the series reviewing a game that is made for today's systems just for that reason. The voice acting in the original carried a ton of weight in the emotional scenes for me, and apparently so many others when playing the remake. There's a video or cutscene, not quite sure if it's a mod, from the original voice actor Rick Gomez using his dialogue from the PSP system into the scenes of the new series, which tells me the original is favored by many fans. Now, to cut it short, here is my second part of my review for Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. So after the events of Engio and Modeo, Hollander was apprehended and Zack was put on standby. During his time away, Zack noticed that he recently had been around the company of Turks more often than usual. But weirdly enough, no one mentions Engio or Genesis to him. It feels like they almost never existed. Zack, on his time off, is restless without a new assignment, when he is told from Cisne that Director Lazard was the one responsible for funding on Hollander's research, and has been missing. It's until suddenly they are interrupted by Genesis copies. After defeating the copies, Sun gives Zack an assignment of a place under attack called Junon, and for him to assist him in it. Genesis copies have invaded the town, and Zack is sent to make sure Hollander is kept safe. On his way to the location of Hollander, he finds out Hollander has escaped from the detention facility. While Zack proceeds to the route where Hollander was last seen, Zack finds Hollander but is constantly being stopped each time from enemies getting in the way. After clearing the route, Zack meets up with Cloud, who is very nauseous from the flight there, and is trying his best to keep up. After finding Hollander at the flight deck, Hollander seemingly falls to his death when two Genesis copies fly and carry him away from the area. Sephiroth arrives and scolds Zack on his mission's failure, when he mentions to Zack that copies of Genesis are all around the world, and asks Zack if Genesis really died that day when he had defeated him. I really love the exchange with Sephiroth and Zack. When he allows him to go back to Midgar and check on Aerith, it's very subtle but sweet.
They've been sighted in Midgar as well.
I see.
The slums, too. Permission to return. Granted.
Yeah.
Take care.
You too. Hey, what's going on in Modeoheim?
The device Hollander was using has been stolen.
Genesis?
Probably. We'll meet again soon.
I'll hold you to that.
When Zack goes to the church to check on Aerith, he finds a monster who is a copy of Engio who has been protecting Aerith while he was away. After gathering the materials with the help from a local boy in the slums, Zack successfully makes the wagon. Zack then gets a call from Sephiroth that he's needed at HQ. Before Zack leaves, Aerith gives him a note as he had asked for when he gets back. When Zack meets at the HQ, he is being debriefed by Sephiroth that soldier operatives and workers are going missing near a reactor and monsters are appearing as well. Is informed that Lazard, Hollander, and Genesis are all very well connected and their orders are to just investigate the reactor. Sephiroth mentions to Zack he may feel he may abandon Shinra for their policy ethics, but he still feels loyal to his comrades and soldier. Before departing to the mission, the game does a very different approach that I had never seen before. It gave me a choice to change my playthrough, which was to me very new, and it played a huge part into why I replayed the specific section of this game. Once Zack goes to meet Aerith again, before he leaves, he tells her of the assignment's importance and he will be gone for a while. Aerith then asks Zack if they could go to the slums to sell flowers now before he leaves, which they do. Some time passes and it seems no one is showing up, until suddenly a customer shows up, and Zack tries his best to convince him to buy. Zack feels upset that no one has shown up, and that everyone seems uninterested to buy flowers that Aerith had worked very hard for. Aerith then explains that she's not upset at all and is just happy to spend time with him. Suddenly, another customer shows up and Aerith speaks to him when Zack notices Sung watching over them. Sung insists to Zack that he will look after Aerith while he was gone and for him not to worry of her. After Zack leaves the slums to the HQ, he is informed from Sephiroth that the next location of their mission is to Nibelheim. After the group is at Nibelheim, Sephiroth tells Zack and the rest of the group to get rest and that they'll investigate at dawn. The following day, Tifa is the guide of our heroes into the town's landscape of the reactor. After our group arrives at the main entrance of the reactor, Zack and Sephiroth enter and notice the door sealed with the name Genova at the top. During further investigation, Zack sees what seems to be a monster harvested in Mako. Sephiroth explains its existence is similar to how soldiers are made, but theirs is exponentially higher and fused with Mako. During this period, Sephiroth is showing to be in more disarray and unhinged when more of his past is being sprung to life. Suddenly, Genesis arrives and attacks them both. Genesis reveals what he knows of Genova and uncovers he needs Sephiroth's help to stop the degradation onto him. Sephiroth refuses to aid Genesis and leaves the reactor. Zack pursues Genesis and is stopped by copies that are left at the entrance of the reactor. Cloud protects Tifa from the Genesis copy, gets injured in the process. Our heroes then make it back into town wondering where Sephiroth has gone to. While in the room, Zack is frustrated to what is going on when Cloud says something to him that brings him back.
Hey, Zack. You know, I've never seen you use that.
Use brings about wear, tear, and rust. And that's a real waste. You're a little more important than my sword. But just a little.
Embrace your dreams, and whatever happens, protect your soldier honor. This is a symbol of my dreams and honor. No, it's more. That's right. I had almost forgotten. Thank you, Cloud. Huh? Right! I'm gonna crash. Night!
The following day, Zack is told from Tifa that Sephiroth is at Shinra Manor. Suddenly after, Zack receives a call from Aerith, which he promises he will see her once he's back. The game then shows us what Sephiroth is up to, and he is held up in the library records hung up on his past and the Genova project. The game's music really does it justice, as it has this anxiety-like tension of something being unraveled. then, on the 7th day, it finally snaps. Zack arrives to the entrance of the reactor building where he sees Tifa wounded. To Zack's disbelief, he can't process how Sephiroth could do this. Zack breaks the entrance of the Genova door to confront Sephiroth.
Mother, let's take back the planet together. I had an epiphany. Let's go to the promised land. Mother.
Sephiroth! Why did you kill the townspeople? Why did you hurt Tifa? Answer me, Sephiroth!
Mother, they're here again. You should have ruled this planet. You were stronger, smarter, but then they came. Those inferior dullards. They came and took this planet away from you. But don't be sad, Mother. I am with you now. We meet at last, Mother.
Sephiroth! Have you completely lost your mind? Sephiroth! I trusted you!
This boss fight has the most aura out of many I've seen to come. Sephiroth will, to me, always be the greatest boss I've ever came across, and will stick with me forever. Zack continues to fight Sephiroth, but in the end, it didn't even matter. While Sephiroth is having mommy issues, his guard is lowered when a grunt infantryman picks up Zack's blade and stabs Sephiroth.
Fuck, you digging in me, you digging in me, you digging in a nigga, you digging in, go ahead.
The grunt was revealed to be Cloud as he rushes to Tifa's aid. Yeah, Cloud, I'm doing great here. It's not like I'm injured or anything. I'm cool. Sephiroth then approaches to the steps nearly alive, and Zack orders Cloud to defeat Sephiroth. Cloud, with nothing but rage with what Sephiroth did to his hometown, charges to him and is stabbed in the chest.
No. Impossible.
Wow, wait, hold up, time out. What? How the fuck did you do that? I don't know, man. You pissed me off, though. Yeah, but, like, I'm Sephiroth, you know. Soldier, borderline god. I don't know if I'd say god, but you're like an infantryman. You see how that doesn't add up? I guess. So, how? I don't know, willpower? Be serious. I don't fucking know, okay? Rude. Okay, screw this shit. Come on, Ma. We're going diving.
Sephiroth.
After Sephiroth is seemingly defeated, our heroes then go unconscious. When Zack is clinging to life, he sees Hojo and other soldier members collect them both and are very interested into Cloud, seeing him as a new test subject. Zack starts having dreams of Angel, which finally awakens him to escape the chamber and frees Cloud, who is next to him. As they are leaving the facility, Cloud is left in a comatose state, with Zack being his guide. Zack makes to the exit, but then is left confused to see Nibelheim is still standing, as the last time it was left burning to ash. Then suddenly Shinra soldiers arrive attempting to take Cloud and Zack. Although Zack is more stable than Cloud, he is still not up to 100%, for he notices he's having trouble with the regular grunts. Zack takes Cloud to Shinra Mansion and changes him out of his clothes for newer ones due to him having Mako addiction. It's when our hero reaches into his pocket, he notices the note Aerith handed to him.
They're tiny, but you have lots, right?
That's right. Want to hear?
How many you got?
23?
Write them down, so I don't forget.
I have 23 tiny wishes. But you probably won't remember them all. So, I put them all together into one. I'd like to spend more time with you.
During the night, Zack makes the decision to return to Midgard, but is constantly being hunted by more and more men searching for them both. While Zack is left pondering his thoughts on what to do, he is welcomed to a friend, Cisne, who does not seem excited to see him. Cisne then is concerned of what they had done to him in that lab. It is very apparent that Cisne was ordered by the Shinra army to dispose of Zack on sight, which she shows some internal struggle to fight a close friend. Zack disarms her, warning her next time he'll have to do it, leaving to find another way out. Zack then gets back to Cloud, where Cisne tracks him back to see Cloud is there as well. She allows Zack to freely leave, also providing him a vehicle. While Zack is leaving with Cloud on the bike provided by the help of Cisne, he is stopped by Genesis and his copies. Genesis instructs one of his clones to eat a piece of his hair. The clone then shows signs of pain and mutates into another form. After Zack disposes of the monster, he rides back on the highway, still concerned on what he should do. As we travel, Zack later notices he is at the location of his hometown. Zack then goes to see how his parents are doing, then is stopped by Cisne, who tells Zack his choice of coming home was careless. Cisne relays to Zack information of Engil, which she had never came to be a surprise to him, as he had believed that Engil was the one who had freed him from the base. Cisne then relieves Zack of his worries of his parents and informs him that they are fine. After Zack's request for Cisne to keep his family company, he then sees Engil, who keeps on disappearing from him. While Zack is chasing after Engil, he is stopped by Genesis copies, who are requesting the S cells. Suddenly, Hollander, who is mutated as bad as Genesis, stops Zack, knows he isn't the only one who was implanted with the S cells. Hollander leaves with a few copies to fetch Cloud, and Genesis is left with Zack. Genesis stalls Zack, then immediately retreats, leaving Hollander with a head start. Zack rushes to Cloud location, where he sees Hollander attempting to take Cloud. As Zack is attempting to stop Hollander, Engil arrives and attempts to help Zack. Zack battles Hollander, and I have to say this boss fight was pretty fun, due to him being able to summon other enemies, but overall it was a pretty easy fight. After Hollander is defeated, Zack makes it back to Cloud's location and speaks to Engil. It is revealed that it really isn't Engil, and it is in fact the Director Lazard who was missing. Zack questions Lazard for why he had assisted Hollander out of Junon, to which he answers he needed Hollander to extract revenge, but he was used out to be turned into an Angel copy in the end. Once Lazard and Zack speak on how they must stop Genesis from achieving his goal, they both realize a hint to where he may be. When Zack makes his way to Benora, he has Lazard to watch over Cloud while he investigates the area. Zack infiltrates the cave to where he notices trophies awarded to Genesis from his youth. From what Zack is seeing, Genesis had always idolized Sephiroth. What I love about Zack that may not be seen from the common viewer is this specific dialogue from Zack to Genesis. Is there anything I can do to save him? He isn't thinking of extracting revenge or sees Genesis as a lost cause. He knows that deep down there is someone in there, a human, that was violated from the Shinra army and promised to be a hero, but was thrown to the side and discarded so another could take its place. Zack, to me, has grown up and a very mature man, and is already different from when we had met him in the first mission with Engil. He isn't rushing to shoot now and ask questions ever. He has a greater respect and honor to how he uses the sword that was entrusted to him, and still has lingering hope that even to his enemies, they could still see the light. After a fetch quest to open the main door, Zack enters Genesis' domain, who seemingly has taken on the full DMC look. Zack begs Genesis to let him help, but Genesis isn't listening to reason, forcing Zack to engage into battle. Once Genesis merges with the Lifestream, he has become a huge mecha that is honestly, in my opinion, the second best boss fight to me in the entire game. Genesis, who is now healed from his degradation, requests Zack to battle him once more, but Zack remains victorious. Zack carries Genesis' body to Clouds and Lazard's location when Lazard tells Zack that they were attacked while he was away but barely made it out of it, thanks to the help of an Angel copy from before. Shortly after, Lazard succumbs to his injuries and dies afterwards. This scene broke me down so hard that I still had memories from it when I was playing as a kid. I remember, from my youth, trying to explain to my mother the story of what was going on, but she never was able to fully understand what it was I was talking about. Zack sees a letter that was left behind from the NGO copy, and it was from Aerith, where she had states that it has been 4 years since they have spoke.
I wish I knew where you were. It's already been 4 years now. This is the 89th letter that I've sent to you. But I don't even know where to send them anymore. I really hope that this final letter that I'm writing gets to you. By the way, the flowers are selling very well. They make everyone so happy. Thanks to you, Zack. Aerith.
4 years? What do you mean, final? Aerith. Wait for me. You're gonna make it too. You got that?
This must be an important matter if they are sending the two of us.
Apparently the subject will become our brother.
Is that so? But will he
Accept his fate willingly.
Even if the morrow is barren of promises, nothing shall forestall my return. To become the dew that quenches the land, to spare the sands, the seas, the skies, I offer thee this silent sacrifice.
We cut to Sisane, who is informed by Sung that the army is en route onto Zack's location, and he wants her to save Zack's life. Both Reno and Rude are out carrying Sung's orders, attempting to find Zack. Our heroes manage to hitch a ride from a local residence, then get dropped off to a safe distance. Zack leaves Cloud in a safe space to scout the area when suddenly...
Boy, oh boy. The price of freedom is steep. Embrace your dreams. And whatever happens, protect your honor. As soldier! Come and get it!
Activating combat mode.
If you want to be a hero, you need to have dreams. And honor.
We have neither dreams nor honor.
Angeal,
Angels dream of one thing.
please tell me.
To be human.
Hooray!
Heaven?
Not quite.
Good news, Song! Me and... Cloud.
Protect your honor. Always.
Not quite what I expected.
Really? I think it's fine. It's all about the flowers anyway.
I want a nicer one.
Activating combat mode.
Thought we could outrun the army. But the Turks are a different story.
Zack, I'm sorry.
So, Zack, what is your dream?
Huh? Oh. Let's see. To become a hero. Why is everyone always pushing things on me? I'm just kidding. You know I wouldn't do that to you. We're friends, right?
Words cannot express how many times I've replayed this game to get a different ending. I've tried every option. I've tried every single turn. I've tried even having other people play it in hopes that they could find a way to change Zack's fate. I've tried perfecting it without damage to see if it would change anything, but as I had gotten older, I had realized that my young mind couldn't comprehend loss. It was bitter, and an ugly feeling that I didn't want to accept, and it felt so unfair. I know in the end, it is just the game, and that I may be overly dramatic for the sake of a video, but this was my first time sensing what loss felt like. At the time, I was upset, and I didn't like the ending being so sad, but as I've gotten older, I was able to accept it more, and understand that this was his last stand. Now, it may be very apparent to many who know my interests, but it is very familiar to Future Gohan's story in Dragon Ball Z. The Future Trunks special will always be my least favorite, and it's not because of anything bad with animation or the story itself, but a very depressing ending to it. If you never watched Dragon Ball Z and never knew the outcome of the androids, you'd feel real depressed that Gohan's fate to the androids filled the viewer with so much dread, it felt like there was no hope. You never knew if Trunks got the future he wanted, or if he had gotten strong enough to take them back down. Back to Zack's character, it felt unfair for him to meet the fate that he had had. What about Aerith? What about Cloud? What about his parents? What about the life that he had planned out? I wish I could express how much this game means to me. The voice acting, the music, the in-game and cinematic cutscenes are truly incredible. I wanted to leave this video with a happy ending. That Zack truly became a hero he had wanted. He had never changed his warm-hearted nature, even after everything that had happened to him. And if the references to future Gohan can't be any more apparent, Zack bequeathed his will onto Cloud and grants him the Buster Sword, thus beginning a new protagonist, a new story. Insert Cloud Strife. Thank you guys for watching my review. It took me some time to finally finish it with me working and needing time to review for the script. If you guys would want me to try more of these kinds of videos, I'd be really up for it. I made this more for me since I'm a really huge fan of this series and have always wanted to review this specific game for me. But if there's another line of games that you guys would want me to look into, I'd be more than happy to check it out. Thank you again, and as always, peace.
I'm your living legacy.
瞳の奥がぼやけて見えない心の底の気持ちはあるの世界の全てを手にしたとしてもそれがあなたの幸せなの
Embrace your dreams. If you want to be a hero, you need to have dreams. Thank you. I won't forget. Good night.
視線をそらすあなたの瞳に一人で寂しい夜に抱きしめられるそんな暖かさしてる
That girl, she said that the sky frightened her. That looks so liberating. Those wings, I want them too. It feels good.
If you see Aerith, say hi for me. Hey, would you say I became a hero?